Let's get ready to podcast!
The Ultimate Deck Podcast. Need a show about outdoor living? This is where it's at. With your hosts, Shane Chapman and Way Laurent. Thank you for tuning in. Now let the show begin. Yeah. The Ultimate Deck Podcast. Let's go.
Wow. It's the 100th episode of the Ultimate Deck Podcast!
Woo! Nobody believed this. Not even my mom, and she believes in everything.
I can't even believe we're here. So I thought we'd have to split like the first 6 episodes up into like a bunch of pieces to get to 100. I thought for sure we'd give up after a few tough weeks. You know how you get that kind of like, that's a lot of work though.
Yeah.
Know that I really want to continue with it. It's a lot of work.
Do you want to plug that? Do you want to talk about it?
No, I don't.
I can. Can I?
Yeah, go for it.
So Shane and Bryce started another podcast, and it's an entrepreneur podcast.
It's a great podcast.
So I haven't been really following along much, but I went for a big drive yesterday, and I listened to 2 of the 3 that are up. And it's funny, they're definite wowzers. They're like definitely different personalities that these entrepreneurs are, right? And so the one guy was like, I'm pretty happy doing what I do, and I just want to pay my employees a living wage. And then the other guy's like, I'm crushing it. I want to retire. I want to sell my business for millions and do it again.
I wake up every morning and I punch my neighbor in the face to get going.
Anyways, and so Shane was talking about the one guy that's coming up and was like, I was going to do it, but it's a lot of work. And so then I didn't. So anyways.
Yeah. It's not something I shy away from, a little bit of work.
Yeah.
But
Good.
So 100 episodes. I don't know, like, if you would have told me
This is incredible. We have
just about
45 people in there right now.
just about 2 years ago, if you would have told me like, oh, you guys are going to do 100 episodes, I was like, no, we're not. Not because we don't want to, but because there's not 100 things to talk about in the deck world.
There still isn't. There's only 50 things. We've talked about them twice.
It's
It's going to be a pretty boring next 4 years, but here we go.
Yeah, you're not going to want to tune in after this. Like, that's just 101's going to be pretty dry.
It will be pretty quiet, likely, right? It's a tough act to follow. But
We'll see.
Anyways, here we go.
Anyway, we thought for the 100, we should probably do something pretty cool. And it was a lot of work, though. So, so we just did this instead.
So
we stepped it up.
do we know how all of this actually came to be? Can we tell the story behind the 100th and how it happened? So
Yes. Do you want to? Sure. Go ahead. Yep.
like, I'll tell my version of it because I
Thought we
and then
were
I'll tell
gonna
the truth.
waste 45 minutes.
well, yeah, let's not waste 45 minutes.
Don't
But,
let Wade tell it.
Come on. We're 100 episodes in. You know how this goes.
yeah, Simcoe already left. He'll be back.
Oh yeah, he'll be back.
So the idea was for the 100th episode, I don't know exactly who like brainstormed it or who had the idea or whatever, right? But it was like, Deckorators is coming out with some new product. We should actually review the products because like a lot of their stuff is amazing right now, right? So we should do this.
Right.
And then
Do we have a sound? Like, what's the sound for a good stroking? I feel like that was a solid
like a pet.
stroking right there.
is it like petting?
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Was that it? Gross.
Anyways.
Okay, so let's not play that sound again.
So then I thought, the way I remember it is that I thought it was like my idea to go down to anywhere in the States. It wasn't particularly, it didn't necessarily have to be Denver, but it was like, let me get into the US. Let's build a deck.
Tear some shit up.
Yeah, let me show up there. I don't have any
Show up.
COVID. I'm in Regina. We have one active case, and
Yes.
it's Bill. And
It's Bill.
everybody knows who
Bill's
he is.
gonna be fine.
Painted his door with a big letter C. Everybody knows who's got the COVID in Regina. And so it was like, let's get down to the US. Let's build a deck for somebody that needs or deserves a deck to have something that's like makes their life a bit better. Let's do that for somebody. And the way we're going to learn about Deckorators' new products is we're going to build the deck out of this product. Let's do it. And so we came together with a group of people. We talked to Jace about it. Jace was like, sounds great. Let's make it happen. I used my points to book flights, and Air Canada has no heart. They didn't want me there. And so now I'm here. And 3 days ago, we told Bryce, we're going to do this thing live between the groups. And he said, no problem.
I said no
problem.
And then I said, that's a problem.
What I heard was no problem.
That's what I like about Bryce. That go-get-it attitude. No?
Driving yesterday. We can't do this. Yeah, we can. Yeah, you can.
Yeah, let's tell everybody about how this went. I'm sitting here for an entire day trying to figure out how to do this. And Wade decides to drive for 12 hours.
Hey,
he just leaves.
You do what
he
you
leaves
do.
the province.
You do what you do. I do what I do.
All right.
Okay.
There's the backstory.
Okay, what's your story, Shane?
I don't, my version of the story?
Yeah, what's your version?
That sounded pretty good. That sounded pretty good. I bowed out a while ago. Wade hung in there.
Yeah.
And then Air Canada bowed him out for him.
Yep.
Anyway, let's get to the worldly news, get this out of the way because we got some fun stuff to talk about. So let's get this out of the way. Just so you know, Mom, I'm working on something very, very big, very important. You're going to be very proud. It's the worldly news. God, this better be good than the collection of poop stories you had last week.
Pretty bad.
Okay, here we go. Irish court. Subway's sandwich bread is not legally bread.
Oh, here we go again. Why?
Because it contains too much sugar.
How does that disqualify something from being
Almost
bread?
8 times the amount of sugar as you would legally consider bread.
There is zero chance that McDonald's hamburger buns are bread then, because they're also full of sugar and
It's
delicious.
true. It's true. But Subway was trying to get their bread exempt from taxes in Ireland.
Oh, they started this then.
Yeah.
They brought this on themselves.
Yeah. So there's a Value Add Tax Act of 1972.
How is that for
which
a-
claims that any staple food is tax free in Ireland. So like bread, potatoes, things like that. But in order to be that, it had to be less than 2% sugar or it's not legally considered bread.
I actually like this story now.
You were like, oh, that one sucks.
I was. But now I think it's hilarious because Subway's like trying something sneaky. They're like, I don't think our bread should be taxed, right? We can kind of get through this loophole.
right,
And they're
that's
like,
right.
yeah, it turns out your bread, not bread.
Turns out your bread's not bread.
Yeah.
So
We're not going to fight this more.
So
Seems
you
like
pay
a lot of
candy
work.
tax now. Yeah, seems like a lot of work. Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Number 2, man puts 125 scoops on an ice cream cone for world record
125.
on one ice
How?
cream cone.
How do you get that to stand straight?
It's the second time he's done it. This
Viagra.
Italian man.
The second time he's done it.
The first time he did it, he did 85 scoops in 2013.
Slacker.
Now he's at 123.
Good for him. And ate it all?
Oh, he served it to the audience one scoop at a
Yeah.
time.
Because
Without
it falls
dripping.
off.
Without dripping on your hand.
Yeah, without dripping.
No chance.
Without dripping.
He's an ice cream scoop master.
Gross.
I guess so. I can't get more than 2 to stay on straight.
Yeah.
Final story.
Yep.
Overdue books return to British Library 48 years later.
Is there a fee for that though?
Yes.
No.
So
I think at that point I'd be like, just thanks for bringing them back.
the guy who took them out moved away, and he still had the books, and he kept them for the last 50 years, and then he returned them through the mail, and they calculated the fees would be about $10,800 at current rates, but due to COVID, the library put a moratorium on late fees.
And that's why he returned them. He was like,
That's
there's
why he
going to be a global
exactly.
pandemic. I'm going to do this.
I'm not waiting. I'm not returning these until there's a pandemic.
Year 5, he was like, can't there just be a pandemic again?
Yeah.
Okay, do we want to roll through the comments real quick?
Yeah, let's hit the comments first before we get into the,
Right.
the stuff.
Sounds like everybody can hear us loud and clear. Simcoe feels bad for Scott. Garrett wishes us luck. TC Dex joined, got a nice shirt.
Oh,
from
yeah,
him.
TC Dex. I'm
Shipped
going to make a
us-
post. Thanks, buddy. He sent us a couple t-shirts the other day. We should have wore those.
And those are the good, they're good shirts too, man. They're like, what was it? The American Apparel, right?
Yeah, I was going out for a
Super
fancy
soft.
dinner the other night, so I put on my good TC Dex shirt, and
Where'd you go?
I didn't.
Yeah.
TC Dex asked, who are the other 40 people in the IG Live?
Yeah, exactly.
Who are all these newbies looking for an aux box?
I have 39 other Instagram accounts, so
Yeah. It's Bryce.w and Bryce W and whatever. Are you done with your comments?
JC's in. Squidjigs wishing us luck. Simcoe thinks we can thank Simcoe for the news for 20 episodes.
woo, thanks, Simcoe.
Yes, we
Yeah.
can. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Thanks for.
Couldn't have done it without Simcoe. Couldn't have got started without him.
We got to bring Simcoe news back at some point. It's just got to be post-COVID,
Yeah, once there's some good
right?
stories
When stuff
from
starts
Simcoe.
happening in Simcoe County, when people can walk in the parks again.
Dunnigan's mad. Dunnigan actually feels like the news was taken from him. Dunnigan's like, we were doing Australian news, and then he's bitter. And CM Boost thinks he's mad. And so, anyways, Foster's for breakfast.
Okay.
No one drinks Foster's.
Yeah, the comment section is lighting up.
Smack.
Good.
Boycott Air Canada. Air Canada was me money. WestJet's number one.
Holy smokes. Is this
Should
gonna
have stuck
end?
with Simple
Lots of thumbs
News.
up.
Where's
Just waiting for the good stuff. Could
where's
do
the
Oshawa
beer?
news.
Yeah.
We're
Ireland
okay.
contains too many Irish people.
Are you guys ready?
I'm ready.
to
I'm ready.
get
Let's get
to-
these guys in.
We're gonna go live. We're gonna get Decorators on here in.
Yeah, no,
ahead.
I'm sorry. I didn't know you were going to do a countdown.
Well, I was gonna say, just so that Jace knows that I'm gonna put his face on the camera.
Yeah,
Okay.
but then there's a bit of a delay.
So just so everybody knows, we are
Just so
here
you
in
know, Mom.
Regina, Saskatchewan, Canada. This is the Union of Two Nations. We're going to bring on the Decorators and Denver Contractors team out of Denver, Colorado, USA. Bring them on in. Spin that wheel. Here they are.
Here they are.
Welcome to the podcast.
I think we're. Yep.
They are. That's how this works. It's live TV. Wade,
Yeah.
be excited.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Welcome, Jace Jabor from Decorators to the podcast.
Hey.
Get a crowd here.
Now this is amazing. This is the first time we've ever done this level of production here. I think this rivals the CBC, which that may not be a joke that connects with you guys, but you know, public broadcasting in Canada, I think we got it beat.
I think we figured it out.
I think we did. So, Jace, welcome to the 100th episode of the Ultimate Deck podcast. You're a number two? How
guys.
many times?
Episode.
Yeah, sorry. Cheers for sure.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Cheers on an episode, man.
How many times have you been on this thing now?
21 times. No.
21.
This is I think it was 17, 50, and 100. How about that?
He actually knows the episodes numbers too. Holy
You
smokes.
told me last year at Deck Expo, like, this is the 50th episode. So,
Right.
yeah, I guess.
That's right.
Yeah, you know, if Jace comes calling, we're hitting some sort of milestone in the podcast.
Hey guys, I've been watching your list there. It looks like you're getting pretty close to 200. So
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, maybe we should do this. So.
Yeah. So you guys are down in Denver right now, and Wade kind of touched on why you're in Denver right now. And you guys have been hard at it the last few days building a deck in the backyard for a very deserving gentleman. Why don't you tell us a little bit about how those last couple days have gone?
Yeah, I've been working really hard building a deck, and Scott and the guys are just kind of watching and not doing a whole lot. So
Allergies.
you got the mic.
We have some really great Decorators certified pros in the Denver area. We're actually in Golden here at the famous Buffalo Rose. And we got Scott Kelly here. We got Tion with Rhino Constructors. We got the Techno Metal Post team here.
Yeah, you do.
We got a lot of guys here that help. So big hand to the contractors that jump Colorado Custom Doors and Decks.
Give a hand to everybody that's involved down there. Let's go.
And yeah, they all came together, and what a cool collaboration to help out a really great guy named Ben, who you might get to meet here later. He's actually here tonight. Ben's here.
Sweet.
Ooh, Ben.
Yeah, Ben Hernandez, correct? Yes, so Ben's here. We'll catch up with him in a bit. But
Good deal.
yeah, it's been a really great opportunity to try out some new product, get some hands-on, and at the same time help Ben get some really cool outdoor space and some accessibility to his deck.
Awesome. Now, did you guys wrap up today? Is it done?
We're close. We're working on the ramp, the ADA compliant ramp, so that Ben can get up, and I think we'll have some good photos to share tomorrow.
Sweet.
Great. So they drug this on so that he can get a phone call to us next week and be like, hey, episode 101, there's Dalmatians and stuff. And like,
Well, I don't get any two-parters like Scott, but that's fine.
right. Yeah. Well, that guy won't shut up, like
Know what I'm saying?
you ask him to talk about himself a little bit and on and on and on.
2.5 hours later. It's
I mean,
like,
you guys
hey.
probably know the last couple days.
He's here tonight, so if your Zoom meetings allow for 3-hour time limits, we're good to go.
Yeah. I think we pulled out all the bells and whistles and paid all the monthly fees to get things to work great. So,
What do you want, buddy?
Can you turn up Jace's, which would be the USB?
oh, it's pretty right there. Okay. Okay. So there's other reasons why this is all happening on this time, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that Decorators has some new products coming out in 2021. And so this whole thing was kind of aligned around that as well. Let's kind of use some new products, tell people about the new products. And then we're fortunate enough to be brought into this little loop to kind of help present the new products here. So Jace, do you want to kind of, I don't know if there's anything else you want to fill in about what's going on there down there right now, or do you want to jump into the new products? I'll let you kind of guide this ship a little bit.
We can do that. A little background on that would be, last year we went down to Louisville, had you guys do this live in the booth, and what a party and a great time. We made so many new friends out of that, and I hope you guys felt the same. It was a great time, and we were going to do it again this year, but 2020 and all the things that come with that. So thanks, Bryce, for making this thing work, and we're kind of making do with this as like the replacement for us, kind of bringing the community together on Instagram and repeating what we did last year. So there's that, and then of course there's new products like we always do every year. So.
It is always, right? I always feel like this is such a great time to launch new products too, because it gives everybody a chance to like digest what came out. We get the winter to look at it, think about it, and then actually hit the ground running next spring with product in hand, right? As opposed to a launch in the spring. So.
All right. So hey, let's get into it. So decking. What we tried to do this year is really look at our decking lineup and simplify, create that clear value proposition from family to family, better define our technologies, wood, plastic, composite, mineral-based composite. And I think we did that. So the way it's over, and we'll introduce our newest line of decking, Deckorators Trailhead Decking is our new entry-level option in the Deckorators family. It's our first scalloped offering in the board. Oh, Wade's got something to say.
You're not going to believe this,
right?
You're not going to believe this, but like, I have the same stuff. What? I'm going to grab my own little sample here, and we can talk through this together.
Hold on here. Hold on.
All right. Yeah. And there's some butt. Also,
he's been doing squats. You can tell.
Where it is.
There's quite a few people on the Instagram Live that have
logged out.
So if you have them, get out.
Well, I got a whoop whoop.
I thought I was going to bring them to the yard, but nope.
All right. So Trailhead. This is our new entry-level offering in the Deckorators line. It's our first scallop board, but it's everything you would expect from Deckorators in terms of quality, in terms of performance. This thing it's got this really beautiful streaking and natural embossing. It's got a highly compressed core. That cap goes through the groove. It's compatible with plugs, and it maintains our trademark 25 years structural stain and fade and removal and replacement warranty. You can hit 16-inch on center joist spans with this, and it's going to retail US in that low $2 a foot range, and couldn't be more excited to give a great, durable, high-performance, affordable product to our contractors.
That's a great price. That should be that's probably only about $14 a foot Canadian, so that'll set some records there for sure.
So it comes in three colors to start. Pathways, then kind of the traditional brown color you see here.
Yeah.
Yep. And then it's got a red hint of a color here, Canyon. Yep. And then the third one is a very traditional gray in Ridgeline. So those are the three colors.
Yeah, that Ridgeline's going to crush up here.
I decided to give my staff a little sneak peek of this stuff just last night, actually, or maybe it was 2 days ago. And when they saw Ridgeline, they're like, holy smokes. That one, that one's going to be a banger. They didn't say banger because that's our word. But
we copyrighted
They
it.
said that deck board is really nice looking.
It's a banger composite.
We could probably sell some of it. So just I got a couple of wins on that. I like that the cap rolls through the groove. I like that you have plugs. I like the texture on the top of it. I like the embossing quite a bit. Seems pretty durable.
And going back a year to talking about your ring of influence here, I was hard pressed, Wade, to make sure that plugs would be acceptable with this board.
This has to be. That's big. I'll be honest. I didn't actually. I don't read much.
It's because you can.
Yeah, you can read.
That's debatable. Sometimes when I stare at screens long enough, people think I'm reading, but it's just TikTok.
Right.
I didn't actually know until today when you sent the synopsis of kind of some outlines to look at that this was actually going to be plug compatible. So you probably told me 4 times, but I don't listen a whole lot either. So that's fantastic. That was a great surprise for me too.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that.
It's-
Beautiful colors.
It's just if it's possible, then do it. You know what I mean? I understand that when you have some scallops or different type products that are scalloped, it's harder to make that happen, to make the Cortex plugs available. But if you can, if it's possible in the design, then do it. Like that, people want them. There's a whole community of people that put videos on the internet, and that's all they do is pound plugs in. They've retired by pounding plugs in. So,
yeah.
Anyways,
One final question on this line, Jace.
Yeah.
Can you cut it with a track saw?
You know, I was actually thinking about putting the track saw challenge out there. Like, can you cut straighter than we were talking about on the job while we were working on this stuff?
oh yeah.
This
By
sounds.
the way, Tion with Rhino Constructors here is a laser shooter with the track saw. So we do have a track saw, and we were using it well on this job. So.
Dude, I
thought you were about to say he was a denier.
Yeah, right.
And I was like, there's going to be a barroom brawl virtually. I don't know how it's going to work, but I'm about to fight somebody.
Okay, so this is great. Trailhead.
Trailhead, that's the new family, entry level, cap through the groove, uses plugs, same polyethylene cap stock, no wood in the cap. It's super scratch resistant, super durable. Around that $220, like low $2 per foot retail, and it still maintains the 25-year removal and replacement warranty. It's awesome. It's our new line that's going to be an affordable option for homeowners and contractors.
Now, this is the decking that you put down this week, right? You guys installed this line.
We installed this line
Awesome.
this week. Yes.
Good.
Yep.
Beautiful.
All right. So now wood plastic. We move from Trailhead into our next line, which is no stranger, our Vista line. It's actually, Voyage gets all the press. Vista's been, for the last, many years, our anchor. Vista that sells quite a bit. So mainly in two colors, our driftwood and ironwood colors. But what we did this year is we gave them some help. So ironwood, which exists today, now meets Dunewood, a brand new color that pairs really well with ironwood. There you go. Yeah, on your Instagram live there.
The cam.
Ironwood and Dunewood. So Dunewood's kind of a lighter brown, golden brown that pairs really well with ironwood. And then we did the same thing with the very popular driftwood, and now we have silverwood. Are you showing brown on that?
Well, why are you talking so fast? We have all night. Jesus.
There you go. So we got a lighter gray and a lighter brown to go.
Give the guy a third of a beer, and all of a sudden he's just racing through products.
Let's do it. And on top of that, we've always offered a 3.5 inch in the Vista line in the driftwood and ironwood colors. We just expanded that varied plank option. So we do offer 3.5 inch Vista in all four of the colors now. So you can do some crazy color pairings and design ideas with driftwood and silverwood, ironwood and dunewood. The colors are there to pair, and so are the 5.5 and 3.5 inch to do some different designs.
I held those wrong. Sorry,
Very
I held
cool.
those wrong. I got him that. Good. Yeah.
Scott's yelling at me that 3.5 inch is the best cocktail rail ever. So there you go.
Then I would argue who sets a drink down. So
I raise you.
yeah. Must be those.
So our wood plastic offering is Trailhead and Vista, both 25 warranties. Trailhead we went through. Vista is a solid profile, vertical grain, has the 3.5 inch varied plank, and the four colors to do some really nice color pairings. So.
Yeah. Okay, so we got, do you want a couple of comments that are coming along in here?
Sure, let's
Can
get some
everybody-
comments. Let's
can
see what's happening on the
everybody
Instagram
see what's
here.
going on here? So
Probably just more of Mike complaining and
Obviously,
Donnie and
we
Deck and
said
whining about not being here.
something funny because Mitcon's
Eh?
laughing away. Backyard Builders LLC believes that the Cortex is a big must as well.
Beauty.
Carly chimes in. You guys are working with Mike on a bike if you don't have a track saw.
Right.
Deck Dogs LLC Ridgeline is going to be a top seller for him. Dad Bod Raj.
Oh, that's a good name.
Hashtag innovation. Trailhead. Backyard Builders. Trailhead's going to sell great for us. Deck Dogs LLC. The best part of Trailhead is it's produced in Wisconsin.
I don't know. Is that the best part?
It's a part.
In Wisconsin.
Dunnigan didn't say anything. Quigley rail.
That part registered 0 parts for me.
Quigley says in Wisconsin we don't need drink rails because they don't set their drinks down either.
Go set drinks down.
Sean, welcome to the podcast. Good to see you, buddy. He's in the Instagram live here. So yeah, Silverwood and Driftwood combo looks awesome.
Isn't Quigley an Irishman?
Oh yeah. How much is your bread? How much sugar does your bread have? Huh?
Yeah.
All right, Carly's looking forward to seeing the samples in Saskatoon, and Quigley.
It wasn't that staff that we showed them to, I guess. Eh?
It's the wrong staff.
Whoops.
Yeah, well,
Sorry, Saskatoon.
can't be everywhere. Oh, thanks.
That's wood plastic. Let's move into mineral based, right? So I guess the first thing is we've been saying mineral based composite quite a bit. And that's because the word eovations, it's not going away. It's our patented technology. But from a comparison standpoint, wood plastic composite or WPC versus PVC or now MBC just gives it a rightful category and a rightful name where we can have those comparisons and those discussions. So mineral based composite is what we're referring to as our Frontier, Vault, Voyage, our porch flooring lines going forward.
Is there any chance that you guys could make a quieter board so that when Wade drags it across the table over and over again, that it would not make as much noise in my ear holes?
It's unbelievable working with people with such sensitivity levels. It's almost like Scott and Wood. Oh. Snap.
I didn't.
It's like this.
That was pretty good.
He's going to be on the mic and he is going to have time to retaliate.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. I've been practicing for weeks.
Yeah, I've got the record button. I can stop this shit anytime.
It's over.
Okay, so mineral-based composite. Okay, so I really like this. So just to explain, if there's people listening that don't understand the difference, like traditional wood plastic composite, no surprise from the name, has wood in it. Yep. Explain the mineral-based thing a little bit. What type of mineral are you putting in there, and what's the advantage of doing so for those that don't know the difference?
So our Eovations technology, as we refer to as mineral-based composite, contains no wood. It's mineral-based in terms of the composite, so it is still a composite. It's a composite of polypropylene and mineral, such as calcium carbonate. So very similar to the makeup of like a limestone. So you got polypropylene and this mineral filler. There's some proprietary elements, but essentially it's limestone. And what we do when we produce that is it's not extruded like a Play-Doh machine. It's stretched into shape over time, and it creates this rope-like structure inside, gives some strand-like structure. So it makes it incredibly lightweight, but also pound for pound, the strongest decking on the market. Incredibly strong, incredibly lightweight. And when we produce it this way with this material, it also provides for the lowest thermal expansion contraction in the market. So your miters are going to stay tight. Your seams are going to stay tight. Lightweight, strong, thermal expansion contraction. And even when I was watching these guys doing the job, we're doing an ADA accessible ramp. Scott got his steel on the job, and we have a base for this. And he was using footers of dark slate and some leftover fascia of Eovations mineral-based composite.
Right. Yeah.
To level this thing out, because it can sit in terms of water and ground contact. It's perfectly fine to sit on the ground with concrete. So there's that benefit as well. The new benefit with this is we believe it's the best structure in the industry. So 25, 25, 25 for wood plastic composite. 2021, we're moving to 50-year structural, 25-year stain and fade, 25-year removal and replacement.
That is a strong warranty. It was already, in my opinion, already one of the best, most comprehensive warranties in the business. Like there's others that have a bigger number that were longer, right? There was 50-year guys out there, but yours, including that removal and replacement, really sets your warranty apart, in my opinion. So for you guys to go and say like, oh no, we can also do the 50 part. Like we can play the numbers game too, and still have the removal and replacement is pretty huge.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, watching these guys work with the product on the job this week, I've watched them use mineral-based composite to shim on the Techno metal post brackets. I've watched them use it on the base of the steel landing for the ramp. It's a beautiful decking, and it's also just a versatile material that you can use to get the job done. And we believe in the product, and that's where we're going with the warranty is 50-year structural. And let's go, 2021.
Awesome. Okay, so you've got some changes to those lines a little bit this year, or coming in next year.
We do. I mean, let's go right at the big boy. Voyage decking. We have some innovations this year. We will remain with the 5 colors that we have in the market today, but we do have a surprise that, we have the 3.5, 5.5, and 7.25, and now the 9.25 inch Voyage decking is the 4th width in the Voyage family.
Yeah, that's a monster.
It's a monster.
You could build a table out of that, one plank.
So what we found is we were building with this. We did some jobs just recently up in northern Michigan. You're laying 40% less decking than a 5.5 inch board. You're using 40% less fasteners than a 5.5 inch board, and you're reducing labor. And at the same time, you're getting that really modern, commercial look of what you see in maybe some new hotels, that wide plank decking, wide plank flooring, wide tiles. It's a really beautiful look when you see it laid down, but you're also getting a lot of labor savings. And speaking of mineral-based composite, there's really no technology that can make this board happen at this width without the cupping, the movement that comes with other technologies. So.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So how do you envision people are going to use this to deck a whole deck with this? Do like all wide plank, or do you think this is more of like an accent board kind of thing, or what's the use case here?
I think both, so we did make the 9.25 and our 7.25 this year grooved and single side grooved. There is no solid because we canvassed many of our certified pros asking what is the option that you're looking for. Solid and the wide doesn't necessarily need to be there because you're not doing cocktail rails or that kind of thing. But that clip on the side makes it, optional for a perimeter on the side of a deck. It does give the opportunity to do a full deck in the 9.25 inch, and it is a really modern look. We'll throw some pictures up pretty soon this week of some of the jobs we've seen already, where it just gives it a really unique look, especially on the larger the deck. It just kind of gives you that look that it proportionately looks accurate when you have some of that wider plank in there. And it's just a really beautiful look. So saves on labor, saves on fasteners, saves on the amount of boards you're actually fastening, and at the same time, a really unique modern look.
So there's some good comments in the Instagram live here about this big plank board here that we better read out, because lots of interesting comments here. First from Aiden Construction says from the contractor standpoint, the labor warranty is the most important part. So that's the warranty question here, or a warranty comment. Yeah. Then, you made me lose my spot, Wade. Oh, you got right out of there. There was another comment about you from TC Deck saying, use this sucker as a drink rail. Hey, you want to...
9.25 inch decking is also called the Irish drink rail. Yes.
Yeah. Set your whole keg on there.
Yeah. Sorry, dude. I was trying to clear off my battery warning. So, Simcoe was referring to this as the tablet. You just go into the store and order the tablet board.
Yeah. So with Voyage, that's the new width, and then the single side groove in that wide board is the option that's new. We also offer the 7.25 is now available in the single side groove as well, because this right here is the most appropriate border width. Actually, according to Wade, you get a full railing base on one board, and now we have the single side groove to catch that clip on the inside, and then the finished side on the outside.
Yeah, there's I really like the size of that 7.25 because it gets that railing post, like the whole railing post covers, right? And a huge fan of that, and a huge fan of the single groove. So
then the last thing I'd say in Voyage is single side groove 9.25, single side groove 7.25, and then solid 5.5, solid 3.5. We played a little game with the dark slate thing this year, and we brought the 21-foot length into Voyage. So 3.5, 5.5 inch solid, 7.25, 9.25 inch single side groove are 21-foot length this year.
So just like for simple, if it has a single groove, it's 21 feet long. Is that what you're saying?
Correct.
Perfect.
There you go. Nice and easy.
Yeah. That's so good.
Yeah, I got it.
The exclamation point on that would be dark slate is also now available in 7.25 inch single side groove as well.
Good job. So that's like, I'll carry that. We should carry that one.
What are those dimensions in centimeters, Jace? There was a comment. Somebody wants to know what those dimensions are in centimeters.
You're on the wrong live feed for centimeters.
I measure a lot of things in centimeters because it's a bigger number.
It does sound
like at home.
Millimeters, right?
Yeah.
Millimeters.
Packing 38, boys.
He has
So we got some comments here.
So yeah, Bryce
We're dangerously close to being kicked out of the Buffalo Rose version.
As if we haven't even started.
Get real.
Yeah. They're not going to kick us out.
All right.
No.
The next shindig is at a Canadian bar. They let you do frickin' anything. Clothes optional.
Clothes optional.
Especially in COVID times. Bryce is going to go back. We lost the comments from before because Wade has fat fingers and no thumb.
It's the no thumb thing.
He's not allowed to touch the Instagram anymore.
It's okay.
Bryce is going to go back and touch on some of the comments we got about the wide board here because I want to hear what people say about the 9 1/4.
They were saying that the 9-inch wide board main decks said the 9-inch wide board would be nice for fascia.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because you could plug it then, right? You could use Cortex plugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a fun fact on that too: the 9 1/4. If you take a 5.5 inch, put space between the board, do a 3.5 inch with it, it's actually the same exact width as a 9 1/4. So you can do some mosaic work here too.
Oh, right.
Oh, we should get Sean doing an inlay with that. Let him lose sleep for another month.
Doubtful. Yeah.
Okay, so we had Robert from Fairly Good Constructions.
Oh yeah.
What? Sorry, his name is actually Fairly Good
Robert,
Construction?
Yeah, at Fairly, Fairlie.
Oh. Okay.
Well, that's
Quality name, though.
I'm already best friends
Fairly
with him.
good.
Yeah. He for sure owns a track saw.
Yeah. That's
He
amazing.
asked one-sided groove only. I wasn't.
No, it's grooved. It's grooved and single side groove.
Oh, there you go.
So there is solid, but you can deck a full deck with the grooved, or you can catch the perimeters with a single side groove.
Nice.
Quigley Cable Rail says, can't wait to get my hands on that.
Can you reach my charge?
Illuminated Balustrade asks if it's a single step tread. Question mark.
You could pair that with some other varied plank and get to a step tread for sure.
Yeah, 9
We may have some surprises in store in terms of more dimensions coming soon. So hang on.
Come on, Jace. Let me have it right now. Give me 11 1/4.
Yeah, this one.
Give me that stair tread.
Hit it,
Waiting for episode 125. Episode 125. I'll introduce that. Okay.
Yeah, perfect.
What else do we got here? Joel from Mountain View. That's not the Deckorators way. Great product, great warranty. The 50-year warranty is there if you need, but you won't.
Yep. But you won't need it.
How you doing, Joel? I love Joel. He's a good dude.
Jordan Smith says, great for ADA ramps, traction plus less bumps from a 5.5.
You're not kidding. We actually have heard that from some builders already that if you have a wheelchair, the 9 1/4 does provide less spaces between the board, and it actually is easier for accessibility as well.
Makes sense.
Good.
Paul's Bow Contractors LLC at Backyard Builders says, buffet rail?
Oh, yeah. Tag it.
Tag it.
Somebody register that.
Deck Dogs LLC says they were hoping for a 24-inch board. Shucks.
We went to 21 foot. Stay tuned.
So,
Okay.
is there more, Bryce?
There's, I could
Tons
go on.
more?
I could go on.
So Brown's Enterprise Landscape says that will be a heavy board, laugh out loud, but it's not bad. Like I'm carrying a foot of it. This is probably this would be what? Maybe like 4 pounds per foot? 4.5 pounds?
It's not much. No, that's the point is if you made that out of wood plastic composite, no way. Mineral-based composite and the Eovations technology, it's super lightweight. That is easily maneuverable on the job site, and we worked with it in northern Michigan. It's definitely lighter than you think it is.
I mean, for context, I'm a monster, so I could make anything look
Pretty
like
light.
nothing.
Yeah.
But for the average man, it's still not bad.
You mean boy?
Yeah.
So
Ever
so
since you
that's
got
really
down
the lineup.
Ever since you got down to 197, I thought you would have lost all your strength, though.
Oh no, I lost that in other places. Yeah. Okay. So there's a question here that maybe you can answer because there's a very good answer to it, but I'll let you answer it. From Build'em Home Improvement says, why single side groove?
Oh, yeah.
Well, picture framing is, a common element to a deck. And, when you put the picture frame around the deck, catching that clip on the inside does allow you to do the clip on the inside and maybe do less fasteners, less plugs on the other side. So it's just an easier way to picture frame a deck. We offer that value. Whether you're doing single side or not, you're going to picture frame the board or the deck. This is just going to give you that option to put that clip in there. So.
Right. Yep. Makes a lot of sense to me. So NFDI in the Instagram says, I've always thought it would be nice to do a 9-inch wide whole deck. Very glad to see this, Jace. So you've made at least Kevin happy, which is hard to do.
My goal was to make Kevin happy.
He's a miserable dude, right? Like every time I've seen him, he's so grumpy. He's just like...
It's because his shirts are too tight. Have you ever worn a shirt that tight?
Nope.
The shirts are quite tight, but he's probably celebrating your 100th episode with something out of a DeWalt bag right now. So.
Oh,
for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
I love it.
So let's get on with it. What's next?
That's the decking lineup. Trailhead and Vista, entry level, solid profile, and wood plastic composite, 25 warranty. Frontier, Vault, Voyage, all the elements we talked about with Voyage are happening, and we're moving to a 50-year structural on the mineral-based composite. Simplified the offering, and then of course Dark Slate, 7.25-inch single-side groove. Simplifying the offering, giving you guys the extra foot on the 21-foot, the single-side groove, just some innovation to help you, on the job site, and that's the decking options.
Awesome. Do you want to talk about anything that you're taking away from the lineup, or are we just leaving that?
Yeah, we can. So in our wood plastic composite line, our classic line is really where we got started with decking. That is going to be sunset. And when we say sunset, it's supported operationally for a year. So it's still going to be available for, replacement boards or whatever's needed for the year. It's kind of the 1-year warning to we're moving out of that board. So the classic line and the heritage line will be sunset.
Okay.
And Trailhead and Vista will remain in wood plastic. On the mineral-based composite side, we're just rationalizing some colors, and the prairie and hickory colors are gonna move out of the Frontier and Vault line. So,
okay,
excellent. Anything around a 3.5-inch dark slate board? There's some comments in the Instagram, people wondering if that's going to be coming at some point.
I think that is not on the docket for 2021. However, if we can get 1 million comments, we might be able to make that happen. So,
well, we're at 3. So
we're at 3.
Start the clock.
Maybe it'll be 2051.
I have heard it. We've heard it loud and clear, and it's certainly a consideration. And like I said, with step treads and things, stay tuned. We might have some surprises this year. We'll see.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
What's with these surprises?
Everybody loves surprises.
I don't like surprises unless I'm in the know on them and it's a surprise to everybody else. Then I like surprises.
Right. So like when Air Canada called me and I called them, and that was a surprise how my weekend was going to go.
Yeah.
Surprise.
Right.
So the other new options we have for 2021 are in our railing program, and that's really around our ALX line. ALX contemporary welded railing, we have some new options this year. We haven't had a gate solution to match that square baluster welded modern look, and so we do this year. In 2021, ALS Contemporary will have a pre-assembled gate and gate jam kits that you can make out of railing panels for gate. Another option is these continuous top rails. So instead of the post cap look, you can cut your post shorter, and now you can place this bracket. If I can get it out of here in a minute. This will go on the top of your post now.
Oh.
And your railing attaches here. And
right?
Boy, you got really excited for that.
Well, it looks so good.
This gives you just a nice continuous top rail look, and that's available on a line, corner, and end. Here's the corner piece, right? And then also in a multi-angle stair option as well.
Oh, nice. Ooh.
So you simply cut your ALX 2.5-inch by 2.5-inch post a bit short, about 4 inches, and installs to these brackets, and you get that nice West Coast continuous top rail look. And on stairs, it does offer a graspable option. It's not ADA compliant, but it is a graspable option for your handrail. So,
okay,
all right,
good deal. That's gates. That's gates. That's continual. Yeah, we got some claps in the room over here, right? We are live in here too, right?
Craft beer, it'll get everybody going. Hey,
it's probably just Scott Kelly scratching his lumber itch.
I'll pay you all when we're done with this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So we have the continuous rail. We have the gate solution for ALS Contemporary. ALS Contemporary cable rail, which was new this year, which really took off for us. The one thing we were missing was a pre-drilled corner post with a single post. That is now available for 2021. Pre-drilled corner post with a Talon tool that tethers to the end of the cable and feeds right through that. So you can do a single corner post now.
Nice.
Excellent.
And then the really cool thing we did on this job we're doing for Ben is we have a new thing called our ALX post extensions, which insert into an existing 2.5 inch by 2.5 inch post to extend it 66 inches. And you can drop these carabiner clips for string lights. So your posts that were 39 inches or for 42 inch rail height, you now add 66 inches and you can do string lights between your posts now.
Oh,
Awesome. That's an interesting thing. I've seen people doing a lot of the hanging, I've always heard it called like bohemian style string lights hanging, whatever. But there's always a question like, well, what
Patio lanterns.
How am I gonna? Yeah. The patio lanterns.
Kim Mitchell, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
But they're always like, what am I gonna do? Put a 4x4 post up on my deck? And it's like, if that can match the rail, why not?
Yeah, it matches the post, and you can throw bohemian concerts on your deck now with string lights, and you're good to go.
I'm there, unless it's in the States, then I'm not there.
I'm allowed to be there.
What it was inspired by, and I got to give a hand too, by the way. Our Deckorators rep here in Colorado, so he's Peter Schneider, is right in front of me. This guy has driven hundreds of miles delivering product back and forth to this job site, helping us get this thing set up. And this was an idea we had years ago. And I'm happy that he's here, that he helped us with this job, and that these string light things finally happened. So anyway,
awesome.
This is the Peter Tribute ALX extension. So
that's the Peter pole. Is that what that is?
Is that what you call that?
yeah.
Just amongst friends, I guess. Okay.
So, from a new product standpoint, that's it. We really streamlined our decking options. We really invested in the warranty and the mineral-based composite. We added some innovation to Voyage and Dark Slate for single-side groove options, 9.25 width, 7.25 inch, and Dark Slate. And we also hit the other side of the spectrum with a really affordable US $2, low $2 per foot price point on a beautiful deck board that's going to have the same removal and replacement warranty you come to know from Deckorators. And then Vista, our mainstay, has some beautiful colors that pair well now with ironwood and driftwood and the 3.5 inch boards. So we're keeping the whole idea of bringing the inside out with these design trends, 3.5 inch boards and wood plastic, 9.25 inch boards and mineral-based composite. And we really, really try to listen to you guys and the contractors. And thank you so much for all the feedback. And we hope you like what's coming, because we're going to have a good year. So.
Love it. It's awesome. So now we've listened to the contractors lots. Now from a dealer perspective, if you could stop making every 2-inch increment board, that'd be just great. Because I don't need to have one color and have 26 SKUs on the ground in one color. So
that is always our limbo here. We got the contractors, as I'm working with them, like, hey, what would be a really good idea?
Yeah.
And then the dealers who are like, what would be a good idea?
I don't mind the idea of the 3.5, that makes sense, and the 7.5. I can even probably get behind the 9.5, but like,
Jace, I'd actually just like you guys to produce this stuff in 4 foot wide by 20 foot long sheets, and let Mike on a bike use his bloody table saw or his track saw and rip his own lengths. Like, come on. These guys are asking for it, or they're just being lazy.
yeah.
I do believe I remember a quote from Wade, though, saying, hey, it doesn't matter what the dealers want, it's what the contractors want. So
I did say that. I had been drinking, and I was in Louisville, and it was bourbon.
And you regret it.
I got back, and then I had to purchase stuff I immediately regretted it. And so, yeah. Anyways,
hey guys,
the options are great. Like, the options are amazing, but it does get to a point where it's like, okay, well, you can't carry them all, right? So
you can't carry them all. So anyway, I've given you a lot of time on Deckorators' new products. I don't want to waste anybody else's time with not waiting for hearing from these guys here in the room. So I'd certainly love to, if you have any questions on these, let's open it up and get some guys on the mic here.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's right.
2 seconds while you guys are shuffling and getting people moved around there. Let's do a couple things here. One, I want to give an announcement for the people on the Instagram Live. You're going to get kicked out after an hour, and we're coming up on that. So you're going to get a warning that the live's going to end. We're going to restart it, and then you can join back in. It doesn't mean you're out. You just join back in. No big deal. Then we get a new fresh lease on life for another hour. Second, Jace, I would like you to choose a number between
Just
one.
Wait.
Wait until everybody leaves.
No. Why don't we do the number now?
Do the number now.
And
You're
then
right.
give the prize after in the second hour.
Okay, do it. Do it now. Jace,
God,
pick a
you
number.
try to have some flow in this.
We don't have it. Quick.
Too many brains.
Jace, choose a number between 1 and 100.
In honor of mineral-based composite moving to a 50-year warranty, I choose 50.
Okay. So the number's 50.
Got it.
Now, do you want to bring that up right now?
Is it because I only have one thumb?
That's exactly why.
That's why I went with
You
a
have
9-inch
trouble
board and
gripping it.
Oh, we were going to go with a 10-inch board, but we just went with a 9 1/4 in honor of Wade.
in honor of weight.
People are wondering. We talked about how we were going to give some stuff away on this podcast today on the Instagram. So you got to be in the Instagram here to win this.
It's not purple, by the way. The green screen is cutting through.
Is it really? It's a green box. It's not purple. So we're going to give away this Ox coffee box here, courtesy of Deckorators. And also a little bag accessory kit for your thing. And you store all your pods, store your coffee maker, store everything in this. So we're going to give this away. Now, how you win.
It does look at this. It looks completely hollow.
That's amazing. Look at that.
It looks see-through.
I wish you could look through the box. I wish you could. So now, I don't want anybody calling that this isn't fair because of whatever. I don't know how laggy this Instagram Live thing is, but this is how we're doing it.
Life's
okay?
not fair.
So Jace chose the number 50. The winner of this Ox box is going to be the first person to comment in the Instagram Live with the full title of episode 50 from the podcast. And I want the full title, not short form, not a couple words, everything, including the episode, like punctuated like get it all in there.
Copy and paste.
The first person to put that into the comments is going to be the winner of the Ox box coffee.
How
was a
much
good
time do we have
episode. I
before
remember.
the Instagram Live dies?
It's probably going to die right away. So I don't know that answer. You would know that better
I'm
than I would.
watching.
Okay.
Just in case.
Well, we're at 52 minutes recording here, and we started it before we hit record. So,
yeah.
Oh boy, there's a lot
so
of stuff.
now, Jace, you've got a group of people in the room behind you, some of which you want to bring onto the mic here. So I'll let you kind of govern
Hey
that.
guys, we got a room full of people here or what? All right. Yeah, we do.
Holy smokes.
Wow. So do we. Woo!
I can promise you, Bryce is social distancing by himself in the back corner of the room. He sneezed once. We all jumped. Anyway, I'll let if you wanna kind of bring some people on to kind of show, like, say some words, or like we'll grind them a little bit here on the podcast.
Nobody's got it yet, by the way.
Let's start in order of the project. Techno Metal Post showed up and helped us get this thing started right away. We got those posts in the ground. We didn't have to wait for inspections. We were just ready to roll. So I'm going to invite them in. Let's do it.
Yep.
Yeah. Helical screw piles. You know our opinion on this. What was that episode? Is that up yet? We just did a helical screw pile episode.
Smart Shelter Outdoor Living. Nailed the title.
He nailed it. Smart Shelter Outdoor Living.
Yes.
Is that what we got? Bryce
That's what we
says
got.
confirm. Yeah,
Yeah.
Wade.
Okay.
Do you guys know what
Well,
episode
not-
50 was?
No. What
Nope.
No.
No, I don't. But it was Decorators because
go in.
only because Jace said it earlier. He's like, we did episode 50. So I don't know what the actual title is, but you do. So
Decorators new product launch live from
Oh wow.
Deck Expo 2019.
there we go.
Oh yeah,
So
that's because we were there. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the whole point.
50. Welcome to the podcast.
I'm not sure when you're there actually. When like
Unbelievable.
I know in body. So
Okay,
yeah,
let's get it.
congratulations to Smart, whatever his name was.
Yep.
Smart Shelter.
Smart Shelter.
Add Smart Shelter Outdoor Living.
Okay.
Sorry, I was reading
at
the
Smart
comments.
Shelter Outdoor Living. You've won the coffee box kit. Send us a DM with your information on how to get that to you. So thanks for playing.
Sorry, Mick,
everybody
you're
else.
too
You
late.
got to make shitty coffee in your Hamilton Beach. That's all there is to it. Okay, so we've got Techno Metal Post on the podcast now. Welcome to the podcast.
Yeah.
They were so loud it made the mics
Yeah.
cut out.
Yeah.
That was incredible.
They've been drinking.
So tell us a little bit about your business down there in Colorado. And
Did you get his name?
well, I guess first of all, say your name.
Yep, my name's Tim Rushing, and I'm the the owner of Techno Metal Post Pikes Peak region. So
Okay.
we're down in Colorado Springs area.
Nice. Well, welcome to the podcast. Is this your first podcast?
Thank you. Yes, it is.
Okay. I bet you that's the only V card you got left, hey? So we're happy to take that from you. Tell us a little bit. You've got Bryce losing his mind in the background here now. Tell us a little bit about your operation and why screw piles work so well for your market.
Yeah, this is our 6th year of installing helicals with Techno Metal Post. I've been a builder, custom home builder, deck builder for 28 years, I guess. And 5-6 years ago, we got kind of interested in looking for a niche in the construction market, and somehow landed, with Techno Metal Post. We're really glad that we did. We love our machinery, the business, the mother company there in Quebec has been just an awesome bunch of people to work with. And we're one of 150 or so dealers in the world. We've got quite a few in the U.S. and a bigger, a growing company. So our soil here in Colorado is we're blessed with some really expansive clay soil. We've got a lot of real cobble rock. We've got some very little impenetrable rock with helicals, except for when you go up in the in the mountain areas. So out here on the plains, helicals work really well, and we've gotten hooked up with Scott Kelly and Tion and quite a few different contractors. We do about 60% of our work is decks.
Awesome.
And deck piers, and then we do a lot of additions, houses. Our guys are over in Avon, over near Vail. Okay. The next couple of days, doing a big job for a commercial project addition on a golf course.
So Tim, about how deep are the piles that you are putting in? What's the depth there?
Say that again.
How deep? What is the depth of the pile?
We typically, for most decks, we'll be in that 7-foot range.
Sure. Okay.
Or less. So
yeah.
It totally depends. Like Scott Kelly's decks, he does all steel, big amount of, big I-beams and big spans. So we'll have some posts that'll have 20 to 30,000 pound, capacity requirements.
Right.
We can accommodate that. But anyway, it's I forgot to mention too, my 2 sons work with me, and they're both installers, and we have another guy. So we have 3 of us, that work out in the field, and then I do as well. But
good.
Anyway.
And so you're a home builder. You saw the trend. You saw the market moving towards helical piles, and so you just picked up the machine and went for it, or did they approach you? Did Techno Metal Post come and find you because they were looking for someone in the area, or was it like you went? You can't hear them.
I can't hear.
Yeah.
I can't really hear this. Sorry.
Did the Techno Metal Post seek you out, or did you seek them?
Oh, yeah. Techno Metal Post, we actually called them as we had interest in a dealership. And so I made contact, and then the guy that does all the, basically the recruiting, he came out, visited with us, and we got set up and ordered some equipment. All of our equipment is proprietary. It's made specifically for putting in helical piers. It's not an excavator with a rotative head. It's or a Bobcat or anything, and nothing against those, but our machines are all remote controlled.
Yeah.
You can walk around them, and you can get the pier perfectly plumb, level, and exactly where it needs to go, by being able to kind of get out of your, you're not in a seat in an excavator, so you can really pay good attention to where the pier goes.
Certainly.
So it's, we enjoyed this project a ton. Love helping people, and this project just came along the other day and was really interesting, and we just were there for about an hour and put 6 piers in, and these guys were ready to build.
Yeah, building right away.
So tell us a little bit more about how that came to be, how you got involved in this project, and why you wanted to be involved in it.
Yeah, we've been working with Scott Kelly for a couple of years now, and he asked if we'd be interested in a donation project, and of course we said yeah, no matter what it was, and so it took a little while to get it all put together, but when it was finally ready to happen, we kind of dropped what we were doing and just met Ben over here. He's the other day, and yeah, we showed up at his place and moved some things out of the way for the deck, and yeah, we'll help. We love to help people, and that's part of our business and our model is, we're not in the business solely to make money. We like to help people, and so that's kind of what we do.
Me either. I'd like to make a little more, but it seems like we're not making much. We're helping lots of people.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, unfortunately, due to the efficiency of helical screw piles, the homeowner probably looked and was like, well, that guy only pitched in for an hour. What's his deal? Does he get beer too? Or like, so, okay.
Got a cup of coffee and some snacks out of it.
It's definitely the most fun part to watch. I mean, these guys come in with this tractor and just, it's so cool, man.
Yeah.
They do.
We're
Exactly.
a huge fan. So we've been on the helical screw pile bandwagon for a while. So.
Yeah, you got a couple dealers up there, don't you?
Correct. We have one. Yeah, we have one right in town. Like you said, the mother company is in our country. Right at Quebec-ish.
Where you going to go down, what, like 40 feet in Saskatchewan? You're good to go, right?
10?
Yeah, we turn them in by hand till 40 feet, and then we bring on the hydraulics.
Just like
Again, right? We're monsters, like I said.
Hey, speaking of Scott,
10 feet.
I think he's back from the bar. Let's get Scott up here, man.
Okay, thanks
Nice
so much,
meeting you, Tim.
Yep.
Thanks so much.
Enjoy your night.
Continue.
Thank you. Thank you for contributing to this awesome little thing we got going on here.
Do it.
Keep it under 2 hours.
Scott moved me from just a basic local Colorado beer to McAllen. So
Yeah. 18 year.
Did.
Bruin. Cheers, man.
100 boys.
Look at him. There he is.
Hey.
Cheers, Mr. Kelly. I can't tell if your face is red from the booze or the wood, but
It's the wood.
I figured. Yeah.
You barely hold the cocktail from the splinters.
Yeah.
You should have heard this on the job site, man. It was like this inferior structure.
Right? I can only imagine.
Yeah, I wish.
Yeah.
I wish I would have.
So, Scott, welcome back to the podcast.
Good to be back, boys.
Jace maybe has been on the most number of times, but for sure you've been on for the most amount of minutes.
Most hours. I give him. He has 2.5 episodes. I have 3. So
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yet somehow he's 3 times the minutes over you, right? So Scott, tell us how this project went. I know you were really behind this thing because you were the local guy on the ground, putting it all together, pulling it all together, finding the person that you were going to help out here, getting other people involved. You really drove this thing.
Yeah, it was really fun for us to come up with the idea because I knew I didn't have to execute shit. It was just like somebody else is going to have to do all of this. So
yeah. So tell us a little bit about your process, how you kind of how you ended up finding the person that we built this for, and how you found the help that kind of ended up showing up on site and giving you guys a hand.
Yeah. So obviously the 3 of us and Jace had our conversations and came up with the idea. And one of my guys, actually, Trevor, knows a lady named Michelle who's very, very active in charities and nonprofits here in Colorado. And Trevor reached out to her, and then she reached out to one of her people named Chelsea. And Chelsea found us this pretty amazing organization called Adaptive Adventures here in Colorado. And with a little back and forth, we had a candidate identified that we're going to be actually helping out a second person with the help of Deckorators later on this year.
I was like, are we going to talk about how it all started and then moved and then changed? And it was like, ew, boy.
It's been fun. It's been fun. But so yeah, we came across Adaptive Adventures, and they found us Ben, who has been amazing. He's an incredible person to talk to. He's amazing to work for. I don't think you could ask for a better guy to do a project for. So that's been really, really good for us.
Awesome.
Keeping Scott caffeinated for sure.
Right. He knows how to operate a coffee machine. So that's a bonus. And then as far as the team goes, like Tim said, I've been working with those guys for a while, and I actually hit up his son first, Logan, and said, "Hey, this is what I've got coming up. I'm going to need some foundation work. Can you guys in?" And like Tim said, they said, just, give us the time, give us the place. We'll be there. We'll drop them in. We'll get it done for you. So we got those guys kind of right off the bat. Then after, we lost Mike and we lost you guys, thanks to the stupid travel restrictions, we did a bit of scrambling. There's a couple of really good guys here that I know. There's Josh Barry, who's here tonight with Freedom, Contractors here. And then I've got a buddy, Tian, who Jace mentioned earlier with Rhino. And those guys stepped up a bit, and then
Colorado Custom
stepped
covers
up a
and
bit. It
decks.
sounds like they stepped up huge.
For us.
Yeah, Jonathan and Pete couldn't be here tonight, but man, they helped us. They helped with the wood framing.
They were huge. I told Peter and Jason, I'm like, look, man, you're going to have to get some wood guys in here, or we're not going to get this thing done, because I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Yeah.
Good.
So yeah, that was sort of how everything got assembled, and was really lucky. Like I said, Ben's amazing. The group of guys that came in to help out were, let's get it done. Let's plug all day long, no questions asked. And yeah, we're really close. We'll have some good pictures and everything tomorrow, and got a really great space for a really great guy.
Awesome. Now, the guys that you're mentioning here, the other builders in your area, do you guys normally compete?
No, I wouldn't say I don't think it's a competition thing at all. The guys that I mentioned, we call each other, we talk on Messenger. There's a lot of ideas exchanged and, information exchanged. And
let me rephrase the question. Do you guys both build things in the same market?
Believe it or not, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So where I was going with that is I think it's super cool that you guys are able to have that kind of relationship and come together and help on a project like this, in spite of the fact that you do operate in the same market, doing the same kinds of things, and you guys are all in the same job site, kind of putting that all aside and common purpose, common cause, right? That's pretty cool. And it's cool that you guys have that relationship even outside of this. Like it's always cool to hear that contractors that kind of get along and help each other as opposed to being super competitive and whatnot. So
they're getting along on the job site when they're just giving each other shit all the time. Like you're in. Like yeah. It's such a cool thing to see these guys working together, and it's what a cool job, cool collaboration, and what a great project for a great guy like Scott said.
I sit here and I listen to all the names you're mentioning, Scott, and it's just like, it's crazy how many people there are that like nobody ever sees, right? It's like, I'm not going to meet 3/4 of the people that are involved in making this thing happen, from from the ladies that helped with the candidate, a bunch of the contractors that are actually doing all the building. It's just like, it takes so many people to pull this off. It's fantastic. So you've assembled an amazing team. Thank you for your help.
Well, I'm just lucky to know good people. So
awesome.
Should we get the Tion laser cutter up here?
He owns a track saw.
Yeah, the track saw.
Is he the only guy in the crew that owns one, or what?
The only one. I'm out. Congrats, boys.
Thanks so much.
Get it, brother. Cheers.
There we go. Next up. Oh, they just throw it. Jace takes off. He's like, you're on your own, Tian.
Yep.
Cheers, guys.
Welcome to the podcast, man. How are you?
Doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing really well. Why don't you give yourself a reintroduction, just so that now that you're in front of the mic, everybody can hear who you are and what you do.
Okay, so I'm Tian, co-owner of Rhino Constructors, LLC. Just phenomenal crew out here. Just want to have a big old shout out to Techno Metal Post that just left. They've been just amazing as well. So I just want a big shout out for them as well.
Awesome.
I'm just co-owner of Rhino Constructors, and I just love building decks. There you go.
Is that what so you guys, are you deck builders only, or do you do other projects as well?
I mean, we'll roll into some interior jobs, finishing basements, doing main level upgrades. But now, since we've got a really good system going down with these helical piers, dude, man, we'll build year-round decks if we have to. It's so much fun.
Yep.
What does your frost depth get to there that you guys have to battle? Like, you can get through it pretty easily with those helicals?
I mean, so last winter we actually the thickest we've had to go through was 10 inches, and I mean they drilled right through it.
Cute. That's really cute.
Right.
Yeah.
Yay, Colorado.
You can almost just pee in a spot and melt through the 10 inches and then start driving piles, right? So when did you come on to this project here? Like, kind of when did you get the phone call, and what was your reaction to that? Why did you make the decision to kind of step away from your daily work and join in?
Well, really, this whole week was actually just up for grabs. I'm waiting on final inspections on current jobs that we had. And then I'm waiting on a couple of engineer plans that I have to get back before I submit permits and all that kind of stuff. That's a long story that we can get into as well. But anyway, so yeah, like Scott Kelly called me up, asked me if I wanted to come and play. And I'm like, why not? Anytime with you is lovely. So I might as well come and play with you. And yeah, then I get on site and all I hear is bitching and moaning about, sorry, leave that out.
No, you're all good. Yeah. It's adult podcast. You're good.
And because we're a hybrid builder, we'll build wood and steel. So all I heard was just a lot of
hybrid builder.
So I'm like, okay, whatever, Scott, you got thick skin, you can handle it.
Yeah. That steel gets cold in the winter though, hey?
What's that?
That steel gets cold in the winter though. Scott must take the winters off.
He usually does anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody's got to pick on him, right?
Yep, that's right.
So yeah, no, like I said, he gave me the call and I said, let's go. And this is just phenomenal work. Always giving back to the community, always just warms your heart. It's soul work. It's awesome. Get to see what you can do with a bunch of collaboration of awesome contractors, and just the time that you give back is always fun as well. So.
Yep. That's the stuff we've really enjoyed in the past too, is that when you get on job sites like this, where everybody's doing it for a good kind of charitable cause, everybody's in a good mood, right? Nobody shows up and gets all bitchy because we're short a board, or gets shows up in a grumpy mood because you're laughing. So maybe a few of them did, but usually everybody's in a really good mood, right? They're ready to rock and roll, and you're having a good time, and you don't get as mad or angry when something goes wrong on a job site like that as you do maybe in your daily life. So it's always a cool environment to be part of too.
Just a lot more problem solving, right? They're all now solution based. Okay, well, here we are. Now what? Like, this is what it is. So let's, instead of being grumpy and be like, well, now I've lost half a day. It's like,
totally. No, I could not agree with you more on that one. That's like so spot on. Like it's essentially construction is problem solving 100% of the time, right?
Yeah.
It's like, let's make shit happen.
Yep.
And that's where you just, like, especially in construction, you can say what you want, essentially.
Yep.
So you can just get that shit off your chest and move on.
Yep. That's right. Yeah. Yep. It's fantastic.
Awesome, man. Well, thanks for joining us on the podcast here. Thanks for your contribution to the efforts here this past week, and wish you the best.
And just big shout out to Deckorators as well. Mr. Pete, Jace, these guys are great. Love them.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Beauty.
I'll pay you later.
Sorry, I forgot to ask him that. Jace, was he a Decorators guy already?
He is a Decorators guy. In fact, those inspections he's waiting for, his text actually has a parentheses like Decorators, of course.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Good.
So I want to introduce one more contractor, and then we'll get to meeting
man of the hour.
Right.
Yep.
So the next guy up is Josh Berry from Freedom Contractors. Here it is.
How's it going, fellas?
Hey, Josh.
Oh yeah, no laws. This is the best.
White Claw.
I
promise it's still swinging down there. Don't worry.
No white.
Yeah.
No laws when
That's
you're drinking White Claws. I love it.
That's a tall boy there too.
It's a big claw.
How you doing, man? How you doing, Josh?
Doing fantastic.
Good.
Big fan. As well. I love the podcast. It's like Letterkenny mixed with deck building.
Whoa. We did it.
Get her done.
That's all we needed.
That's
Close
the
it down.
final episode. We finally got the acknowledgement we needed.
Someone figured it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure bites. We used to have this.
Yeah.
We used to have the sound
Sure
on
beats fighting dudes with treasure trails.
here. Yeah. So let's hear the same story. How did you end up getting involved with this? And tell us a little bit about your company, Freedom Contractors.
Yeah, so I got out of the Marine Corps in 2014, and I was 21, 22 years old at the time, and just really had no idea what I was going to do. So I started building custom pergolas, and that was kind of my introduction into construction. And then took a couple years and worked for a company that my dad was running. We ended up selling that. And then I kind of started getting some calls and got back into construction. And then in early 2018 was the first time that I'd ever built a deck. So I started hiring crews and guys who knew what they were doing, because I figured out pretty quick that having almost no construction background, I was probably going to be much better as the guy who's running the show than the guy who's actually building things. So I was really lucky to be able to get the right people on board early on. And we initially started building with TimberTech just because, I looked at TimberTech, Trex, and Fiberon, and TimberTech was my favorite one. So we were platinum contractor with TimberTech back in 2018. And then funny enough, don't worry.
Jace's morale, I could see it. I could see Jace's morale floating out of his eyeballs.
It gets better. It gets better.
Yeah.
So,
I was like, there's worse brands to pick. You know what I mean? So
early 2019, we'd had some problems with TimberTech scratching really, really easily, and a couple other things that we just really didn't like. Filed some warranty claims for our customers for boards that came out like half grooved on one side and solid on the other side. And
no, Deckorators does it, and everybody says that's so innovative when Deckorators does it.
Just make good hats. That's all it is.
So and of course all that was with TimberTech. So about a year and a half ago, I'm doing a big paver project, and Tion, who's the last guy who was up here, pulls up on, you see his big trailer out front, and he's doing a huge deck like 3 houses over. And so I went over there, and he had a bunch of Eovations material, the Deckorators Voyage, and he started showing me what he was working with, and I saw this product, and he's like, yeah, it's the same color all the way through. It's got this enhanced traction on the outside. It's dynamite. It's great. And I took one look at this stuff, and I was like, we absolutely have to use it. So got a hold of our rep, Peter Schneider, through Tion.
sounds like he's a pretty good guy.
Yeah, he's all right. He's all right.
Should get Peter up here.
So we got Pete out to a job site. He saw some of the decks that we were building, and we saw the product. And from the very first project that we did with Deckorators, we were hooked. Just in terms of the support, I mean, obviously the Eovation stuff is amazing. The expansion and contraction, I was just showing Pete some pictures of miters on a deck that we built last July. And you go out there in December, and all those miters are the exact same size. They haven't moved at all. So yeah, that was kind of our entry. We were probably running about 2 crews at the time. Now we're up to 4. And recently, as I'm sure you guys know, with the crazy increases in treated lumber prices, we decided to move to all steel framing. So naturally, you call up the Grand Wizard of steel, Scott Kelly.
Poobah Kelly.
Yeah, and then he talks your ear off for a few hours, but you learn good things.
Right.
Never experienced it.
Yeah. So as of right now, we've got 4 crews running full time, and they're all building steel frame decks with Deckorators. Probably about 99% of our projects are decking.
Nice.
Good.
Well, that's pretty awesome. Good story. So you got the call to join this week and jumped on it, I'm sure. How was it the last few days?
So I'm actually, I haven't really had a ton of involvement, unfortunately, with the job that these guys are doing, because I've got 6.
Oh, you just heard they were serving White Claws and you showed up. I've been there.
We showed up at the top. We got top golfing though. We got top golfing.
We got top and free drinks.
Yeah.
What else?
Beauty.
Josh has been such a good partner of ours. He was super busy this week with some jobs, but man, he's been just a great representation for us in Colorado, and we can't say enough about him. So
Good deal.
yeah, when you got to build a custom pergola, the next job, he's there. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's right. Sweet, man. Okay, well, thanks for joining us on the podcast, and great chatting with you, and nice to hear your story, and thanks for your service. And
Appreciate it.
enjoy the rest of the night, man.
Nice meeting you.
Before we move on to the next guy, I just want to say a shout out to Trevor and Mike on Scott Kelly's team. They were a huge part of this job build. Huge part of this job build. You guys should come up together real quick, and then we're gonna do Ben. Yeah, they can tell you all the bad stuff about Scott. So
Trevor
these
and
are
Mike.
the guys that actually
Ben.
make it happen. And Scott, I'm gonna get out of the way and let him talk.
Trevor and Ben. Mike?
Mike.
Trevor and Mike.
Do you guys work? Is it Trevor and Mike?
Yeah, Trevor and Mike. I'm Mike.
Do you guys work together quite a bit?
We do. Yeah.
Can we give you a Hollywood couple nickname and just refer to you as Trike now?
Absolutely.
If that's okay. Wade and I quite often get called Shade instead of Shane and Wade, so it's a thing. Welcome to the podcast, guys.
Yeah.
So it's good to finally see the faces that actually run that company that Scott calls his own.
Right.
So welcome. It's nice to hear from somebody else from that company here. How was the week for you guys? You guys got a lot done in a short amount of time.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's been great. Yeah, Ben's been a really awesome host. Like it's been mentioned a few times here. I mean, he's taking care of us. He's outside watching us work, and the whole time, offering drinks, food, whatever he can. So he's been awesome to work for, and it's been a really cool collaboration to work with everybody that's been involved.
What was the weather like down there this week? Is it fairly moderate at this time of year? Like a nice weather to work in?
Like a nice high 80s. Like it's sunny, it's warm, it's hot.
Yeah, that's good though.
That's perfect. Right on. So
a lot of sun.
yeah. What was the best part about this week then for you guys personally?
Yeah.
the shade. No, it's been cool working with the new product and getting to meet all these guys from Deckorators. We got a pretty good relationship with Peter. He comes down and sees us on just about every job we do. He's always around and seeing us. And so it's been really nice to meet kind of everybody else that's involved behind the scenes. And then also obviously working with other contractors and stuff is super cool too.
Awesome.
Decorators is great. They listen to what we say. They take it back to their bosses, and they've always got a response. They've always got a reply, and they reply.
Man, it's good when you're working with a company that you feel like actually cares. You know what I mean? Like they're listening to you. It's maybe they can't make all of the things happen, but you feel like they're actually trying. So
what were your first impressions on the new Trailhead decking then? That's the first time I assume that anybody's really worked with it. So you guys have a lot of experience with other deck boards and the Voyage line and everything else, but how was Trailhead first time?
And so before we get too far into that, actually tell the truth. If you thought it was a little bit slippery, say that. Because we would, right? And that's the big part of our podcast is that we always we tell the truth.
I just do.
Right? Yeah.
Slap his hand, get him out of there.
Yeah. And so you give some stuff up when you get a board that's $2 a foot, right? That's just that it is what it is. And so, yeah, tell us about the product, but an honest opinion, because nobody else has touched it. You guys have worked with it. So
one guy can carry 8 boards.
It's light. Yeah. It's really nice to work with. It cuts actually really well.
Does it cut better than the Voyage line?
In certain ways. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's ways that it does.
That Voyage line all balls up on the saw, right? And it's a little bit frustrating, but
right. Yeah, you don't get that melt with the new stuff.
Good.
Yeah, we haven't used the jigsaw with it yet.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the tool that'll show, right?
Yeah.
So did you guys use the plugs? This is a thing we kind of talked about a little bit earlier, was the plug system. Did you guys use it on this project?
We didn't have plugs for this one,
Okay.
but we used we just face screwed, and actually the colors match really well with existing colors. So we were able to grab some colors that were close, and they look and blend really well. So
Good. Nice.
Did you have to pre-drill the board before you put the color match screws in? Did you do that, or were they just straight in?
we always do. Yeah, we did it. Not sure if it's required, but
Sure.
without, we always do it.
Just to break the cap, nice and clean.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Yep.
We always did with the WPCs, but with PVCs, you wouldn't, right? A PVC, you can usually just run the screw in right away. But anyways,
So how long you guys been working together with Scott and the Precision crew?
4 years for me.
I'm coming up on 3 years here at the end of the month. So
Nice. And you guys, are you guys like a crew? You work together on all things? I don't know much about Precision as a whole, if there's multiple crews or if it's just one group.
because Scott basically talked about himself the whole time when we had him on. So
Yeah. As far as we could tell, Scott just builds 300 decks a year by himself. So
Before I started with him, he did.
yeah. Yeah, not too far from the truth, right?
he's a he-man. He works super hard, but yeah, we've both been on for a few years now. And, I was personally drawn to Scott. We worked together before in a past life and in the service industry. And when I saw what he was posting online, I could just tell his passion for what he does. And that's what drew me to him. So when it came time to look for a kind of a new place to call home for work, Scott was the obvious choice for me. So
I've known Scott for 22 years. I met him the same day I met my wife. They were friends before. And we just saw each other here and there. And I was leaving the job I was at. And the same day that I left, he posted some on Facebook looking for somebody. And I got a hold of him.
scooped it up.
That's awesome. Sometimes the timing just works out, right?
Right.
I've never met Scott yet in person. We've had a chance to chat with him for like a few hours. But you can tell that he's just a solid, good, genuine guy. So there's no doubt to me that you guys probably have a good thing going there, and I imagine he's a treat to work for. And I want to thank you guys for contributing your efforts to this week as well. So thank you.
I wish I would have got the chance to build with you guys. It would have been a great week for me. But
Yeah, we look forward to having you guys down.
next time.
we'll come.
We'll make
be
that
down
happen
there.
at some
Yep.
point for sure. Yeah.
I had a question, though.
Sure.
Is a sea crate really a thing? Oh, what was the sea can?
It's called a
sea
sea
can?
can.
Sea can, yeah. That's a thing.
So a sea can it's basically a container, they ship across the sea. It's a can that comes across the sea. It's a sea can.
Yeah, I heard y'all say it once, and I just wanted to confirm that was real.
It's made out of steel. So I'm pretty sure Scott actually makes them by hand.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the only thing he uses a hammer for anymore.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
To celebrate a victory, it's like spin, poof, into the pocket.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay, awesome guys. Thanks for joining the podcast here.
Thanks so
Appreciate
much,
talking to you. Thanks again for all your hard work this week.
Honor. Thank you.
Take care.
We got the man of the hour here.
We're gonna bring up the lucky homeowner here.
there it is.
There we go.
Oh, they didn't get you a good hat, Ben. They should have got you a deck shop hat.
Yeah, where's the deck shop hat? Oh, there it is. Oh, yeah. Get that one on there. Oh, yeah.
Oh. much the same, but way more comfortable, right?
Yeah.
All right, they should get the mic. All right, guys, I want to introduce you to Ben Hernandez, the fantastic homeowner that we found through Adaptive Ventures. I'm not going to tell you about the company because he can do a far better job. Ben, you want to tell us about the company and a little bit about yourself and just how we got to hang out this week and just kick it, man?
Sure. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, we can. Yep.
Let me first apologize. My belly and Scott's biceps did not fit in the frame. But, first of all, thanks is an understatement. I found out about this project less than a week ago, and I was thinking, a deck, maybe something like the display that's behind me, 5 foot by 5 footer, just something. And I have to say my expectations have been blown out of the water. These guys they're not even done, and it's absolutely gorgeous. overshadows my house because it's so pretty and so beautiful. But we'll work on that later. But once I found out that Adaptive Ventures called me, and I've been fortunate enough to be involved with them probably about 10 years now. And I was even chubbier then and less active. And they helped me get on a hand cycle. They've helped me get scuba certified, kayaking, all those things that Coloradans do naturally. But I was in a car accident over 20 years ago and broke my neck and, didn't really have any direction. And when I got hooked up with Adaptive Adventures, I found my life's calling. So I'm able to help them, help people of all walks of life get active and find activities that, a lot of people take for granted. And it's something that a lot of times a hand cycle or an adaptive piece of equipment is extremely expensive. But these guys actually do it for next to nothing. You pay like maybe $5 to, ride a piece of equipment and hang out with these really wonderful people. So, and I can't say enough about Adaptive Adventures. They actually specialize in military veterans and helping people get back to skiing. If there's an activity you can think of, they've either done it, dragon boat racing, or they can help you figure out how to do it. So, they're a wonderful organization there. I want to say they have multiple chapters around the country, but yeah, Adaptive Adventures is just a wonderful organization. And then coming over to, I was only ever a helper, never a boss on construction sites. So when these guys came and I was like, wait, nobody's mad, nobody's throwing shit, nobody's,
Because Jace does throw things, I'm telling you. I've seen it firsthand.
Watch it, Wayne.
So the process has been really, really cool watching, from a messy backyard with a bunch of plants and piles of dirt all over the place. These guys went above and beyond, moving all my junk out of the way. It actually looks like a backyard now and not a garage sale. And, so that was the first day watching them put the piles. So the
helical pile.
Yep, piles, yep.
I'd never seen that technology. I was expecting 2 guys in a truck for the whole job. So at one point there was probably 10, 12 guys on there, just like a bunch of little worker ants getting it done.
Awesome.
And it has completely transformed the space that I have. And it's my plans to have family, have these guys over and burn some meat and drink some beers. It's definitely on the
I like burning the meat. Let's do that.
Awesome.
So it's been quite an experience. But most of all, just as much as the deck, the camaraderie and the cool attitudes, because these guys really know what they're doing. But it's also, like Tien said, seeing them solve problems. It's really, really cool to see how things evolve and how they can, figure out ways to overcome obstacles. And that's really what I'm about. So it's neat to see them doing that.
Awesome, man. Well, it sounds like you're a really great candidate to have had this. What was that like to get the first phone call? Were you confused as to why there was this group of strangers looking to build a deck in somebody's backyard?
I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, I expected 2 guys in a little beat up pickup truck or something, really, really small. But having found and heard from Chelsea at Adaptive Adventures, she didn't tell me that it was going to be so great. And it's not a negative thing at all. I mean, I'm blown away by the quality and the aesthetics and, also seeing the process. 20 plus years ago, it was kind of ugly to see when you're especially working with wood. And, I built a deck once that lasted less than 10 years. And I realized why, because we didn't do any of the things that you're supposed to do or the right way to build things. So, looking at these guys has really left me in awe, but also, I'm so humbled and so appreciative because, it's something that when my house isn't huge on the inside, but it's also older. So, the houses back then built in the 60s were kind of small. Yep. This space allows me to entertain, allows me to have friends and people over. And, it's really changed the feel of my house. So, I'm so very fortunate. And, it has been something that has helped me in the sense that, it's in this world, we learn that giving is one of the things that gives us joy and that, can help us go forward. And I feel, I, like all of us, been stuck at home and been kind of bummed out about it. But I definitely have a renewed sense of purpose and direction because, personally for me, I want to help people overcome obstacles with disabilities and of all walks of life, but help people realize that regardless of what happens in life, we have a choice, right? And what direction we want our life to lead. So, it's definitely, I don't feel deserving, but I do definitely, appreciate so much that I was chosen, but also that I'm able to, share it with people, because I'll tell you what, after our next bike ride, I know whose house we're going to.
100%, right? Yeah. Yeah, like you said, every morning you wake up. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Every morning you wake up, you have a choice, right? It's like
hit the snooze button or not.
And so,
is that not?
Yeah, well, it is what it is, right? But it's like, get up and attack the day, because that's what you have. You have the day. And so, as you say, it's like some things don't go as planned, and you just problem solve your way through it and move on, right? So, yeah, and I think all of those guys that are there would be super pumped. You're saying that you probably don't deserve the deck. They're likely saying that, they don't deserve to work for a guy like you. You're just, everybody here says how awesome you were. So that's fantastic. So
absolutely true. I mean, I've watched Scott and Colorado Customs and Tion and all these guys working with this job. And Ben comes out in the morning and he's making sure we got coffee. Can I order you lunch? He's asking questions about camo edge clips and like, how does that work?
Sure.
And it's just super cool, like what we're doing. And what a fun week it's been to spend time with Ben and build this space for them. And man, it's been such a good experience. So
good deal.
We'll get the pictures up of the new space the next day or two here, and it's going to be fun. And we'll burn some meat on it, right? So.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, Ben, for being not that it was super hard to say yes, but thanks for being a great sport about having all these people invade your backyard and your space and do this for you. And it sounds like everybody enjoyed your company and you were a gracious host. So thanks so much for being part of this.
Thank you. I do want to say too, it was a really neat kind of a Pandora's box to open and see all the website on Instagram and online. Like, first I was kind of worried because my power chair is heavy and I am as well. And you wonder about shifting and all those things, and seeing, 7 of you on the deck for the picture, like no movement, no flex, no nothing. And it was like, wow.
What are you saying, man?
No.
Yeah. You saw Scott, right? Like
just what we were all thinking,
right?
Jace.
But, the product, I mean, it speaks for itself too. And to be able to, know that something will last decades plus is, really peace of mind. And it's beautiful. I mean, it's absolutely just aesthetically pleasing in every way. And I look forward to doing some donuts on it in the snow.
There you go.
That's awesome.
Well, I know that Deckorators is known for strength, building strong products, right? And I know that the guys there that were involved in putting that thing together are a bunch of guys that know exactly how to do it correctly and right and overbuild and strong and whatever else. So I'm sure that deck is it's going to be there for a lot of years.
Scott mandated 10-inch on center, just so you know.
Sure.
Really?
Because he told me last week he bought shares in camo fasteners. So
10-inch on center. So this thing is a bomb shelter for sure.
For sure. Good. All right, Ben, I hope you enjoy that space for years to come. Don't party too hard, or do. Who am I to say?
Yeah.
So have a great night. Enjoy the rest of the company there.
Thanks, Ben.
I have no more guests for you guys unless you want to keep it going here. So. Oh yeah. Do we want to get Peter up here? Peter.
Yeah. I want to meet the guy who made the poll.
This guy, the
Pole.
Oh yeah.
There's Peter.
Get it, Peter.
What's on?
How you doing, Peter? This way, over here.
I see you.
How you doing, Peter? You're the local rep for Deckorators. In what area do you cover? All of Colorado?
Well, all of Colorado, Montana, Wyoming, Utah, northeastern.
The Continental Divide.
Yeah,
Right up the center.
Nevada, New Mexico. So a little bit of everything.
Okay. Have you ever been on travels through Montana and think, boy, I should hang a right here and head up to Regina, Saskatchewan for a quick visit? I'm sure that's crossed your mind.
It has crossed my mind.
Yeah. It's the pizza, right? So what?
A little stats.
What does an average day look like for you, Peter? Are you on the road constantly, or are all your territories fairly reasonably spaced apart? Were you traveling lots this year? Probably not.
Yeah, I'm gone 2 to 3 weeks a month, whether it's in Colorado or, Wyoming or something where I can drive. But then when I get out and fly, I'll maybe spend a full 7 days, and catch some other stuff. So, but it's all super enjoyable. I had a really good career before, and now working with Deckorators and Universal Forest Products for the last 20 years.
Wow.
It's been an exciting time.
Awesome.
Yeah, I was going to ask that. That was going to be my question, was when did you start with UFP and how did you end up there? What was the change?
So one of my neighbors worked for Universal Forest Products, and I was at a ski shop in Fort Collins, Colorado, and I sold him more products than he needed. So he thought I better come to work for Universal.
That's a match made in heaven right there.
Yeah. This guy can sell.
I can tell you, we have a lot of sales guys, and there's few that have more passion and like camaraderie with all the guys in this room. They're all here because of Peter. He just takes care of these guys, and like they said, he hits their jobs. He hits their job sites. He visits them, their family, and man, huge props to Peter.
That's the secret. They've not just been business acquaintances.
Yeah.
They've turned into family. They're all, and I had a tear in my eye listening to Ben talk about all the guys because they're just all fantastic.
Yeah.
Has there been something you've been a part of before that's had this same group of guys all in the same room or on the same project before? Or is this kind of a first for them all to be like, them all, but has everybody kind of got in the same room before?
This is the first really big group meeting was over at Ben's house. I know that Tian and Scott talk quite a bit. And then we get Scott, helping out other guys like Freedom Contractors and that. But this is the first real gathering. And I was talking to Jace and Chris yesterday about, the dream team. If I had to pick out, the Jonathan and Pete from Colorado Custom Decks and Covers, and Precision and Freedom and Rhino, it's just an unbelievable team to help Ben. What we got done in 4 days, it's amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the final pictures and whatnot, because I know that, the initial intention was for us to be down there kind of being part of it. So we've been removed from the actual day-to-day aside from the little bit of posting that Jace has been doing. So I'm excited to see what these guys came up with and threw together in a short amount of time for such a great cause. So, and new products too, right? I always like to see pictures of new products. So, but it'll be cool to see it all completed and, ready to use. And you're right, Ben seems like a super, super awesome dude. So, and so is everybody there that's helping out. It's just like a bunch of good people in a room for a good cause, and I'm sure everybody's leaving this experience with smiles on their faces.
Yep, we're looking forward to when we can do another project for someone else.
I can't believe the irony.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't believe the irony behind how we're in COVID. We're not supposed to be like gathering, and this is what's come of that. You know what I mean? It's like we've pulled together a group of people from.
How cool.
Yeah, and it's like you're not supposed to do it, but it's like, okay, well, what if we do just a really great group? What if we do a small great group? Can we do it then? And it's like, yeah, you sure can. So
can't wait for this to be over so you guys can come down and help on the next project.
You're telling us.
I was so close to jumping the border. I was just like, I'm going to take my truck. I'm going to go to the border crossing and go 1 mile straight west and then just cross in a field. And because for me, it's a 13-hour drive. And I was like, I can do that. I can make,
You did it yesterday.
I did it yesterday, but I was like, I can make 2 stops and I'm there in a day. I interact with way less people than fly like 5 flights. And anyways, I was pretty choked, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. Yep.
Well, we missed you this week, Wade. We went to Top Golf and we kept saying how much you'd love it. So sorry you couldn't be here, man.
And guess who crushed the ball the farthest and the fastest?
Top Golf might need farther out nets for Mr. Scott Kelly.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
I believe it. Speaking of monsters, hey?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Awesome, Pete. Well, it's a pleasure to have you on and finally like we heard your name a few times earlier in the podcast. So it's nice to finally meet you. And like I said, someday we'll make that in person.
I met you guys in Nashville or Louisville.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yep. You were there.
I was there. So
right.
good
Yes.
to see you guys again. Can't
Absolutely.
wait until you guys come down.
Yeah.
Sounds good, man. We'll make it happen.
Thanks for all your work today.
Thank you.
This week. Sounds like you did all week, not just today. So that's good.
Well, if we don't wrap it up, we're going to be a 2-episode deal like Scott. So
yeah, exactly.
It's already a 2-parter.
We're closing in on it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I know, right?
Well, do you have any parting words there for us, Jace? Any final wisdom you wanted to kind of throw in at the end of this great segment?
I'm just always blown away every time I get the privilege to travel and meet Deckorators certified pros that are, they are just top of the game of what they do in terms of building, engineering, and just incredible human beings. If I get to be on a job site with these guys, it's a good day. And I couldn't be happier to be here in Colorado. We've been hitting some trails, trying to do a little bit of hiking, kind of getting inspired for this trailhead decking. And anyway, thank you so much for you guys. Congratulations on 100 episodes. I don't want to undershadow that. That's 100 episodes, guys. That's 2 years straight, a week, episode a week. Congratulations, guys. Really, really, really cool accomplishment. So.
Yeah, I don't know that I thought that we would, I guess I didn't know what this was going to look like. I didn't know that we'd get this far into it either, but I got to say that after 100 episodes, it's not getting boring. It's actually something I look more and more forward to every week. I think bringing Bryce on, we're kind of like upping our production here. Like today's episode is super cool, the way we got all this technology working together, and thanks to Bryce for pulling that all together. I'm excited for 101 and beyond now. We're like, it's not getting boring, aside from trying to come up with the topics.
I was
God knows that's
I
a
have
struggle.
no idea what we're going to talk about, but like when we get it nailed down.
But it's still fun.
I'll give you topics. I'll give you topics on your milestone episodes if you want. It's fine.
Yeah, that's been working out quite well.
Twice
actually,
a year.
So. Yeah. So yeah, it's been a fun venture for us. We're going to keep doing it, and I'm glad that we have an audience that tunes in every week and listens to what we're doing. The audience continues to grow every month somehow, so we're still getting our name out there. But it's been a fun ride. So I appreciate you guys' support as well. And I don't have any final parting words. Do you?
No, me either.
So if you guys want to follow along in this project that the guys put together this week, Deckorators Instagram account will be posting that stuff, I assume, right, Jace?
Absolutely. And one last thing I want to do. Scott Kelly introduced us to Dave, who's the operations manager for the Buffalo Roast.
Oh, yeah.
And they gave an incredible venue to do this in. If you're in Golden, Colorado, you have to check out the Buffalo Roast. What a cool place. They've been outstanding, and just a shout out to them. So,
yeah, I will make my way there at some point.
Yeah.
You got to get here, Wade.
We'll do it.
It'll happen at some point. Okay, we've got comments flying in here congratulating us on the final one. Not for the final.
Yeah, the final episode.
On the 100th episode. So appreciate the support, everybody. Keep tuning in. We're going to keep doing this thing. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks, Deckorators, for putting this thing all together. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, everybody.
Shop.com. Hit us right away for sponsorships, or tell us if you want to collaborate. Let's go. Check us out on any social networks. Thank you for listening.